Good morning, 7th grade. It is Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today's mini lesson, we're going to be taking a look at the Iditarod spreadsheets, the maps and the photos, and we're going to look at two key words. What do they say, which is their explicit meaning, and what can you infer or figure out, their implicit meaning. So we're going to look at log number 601. I've got a snapshot of it, and then we're going to look at a photo and a map, and we're going to see what we can figure out. Let's start with explicit meaning. Looking at this log 601, which was March 17th at 4:39 a.m. Alaska time, we know or explicitly are told who's in positions 1 through 10. So we know that Thomas Weimer, or I think that's how you say his name, is in first place, and that the last checkpoint he was at was Elim. He has 12 dogs in and 12 dogs out. We know that he rested at the checkpoint for 1 hour and 52 minutes, that he took him 7 hours and 32 minutes to get from Koyuk to Elim, and that he's going 6.37 miles per hour, and he has taken both his 8-hour and his 24-hour break. What implicit information can I get from this chart? Well, I noticed that the first place finisher, or first place musher, has the second fastest speed, 6.37 miles per hour, and the fastest time in this group is 7.06 with Mitch Seavey in third place. But if I look at the number of dogs, I notice that the first place guy has 12 dogs and Mitch Seavey in third place only has 10 dogs. So even though he's going faster, he only has 10 dogs. I can infer that the first place musher is doing better and is in first place because he has more dogs than the fastest musher. He's taken his break, so he's probably rested, and because he's only 123 miles from Nome, he's in competition mode at this point. So that information was not written in the chart, but I can infer that, or at least figure that out based on the data that I've been given. This is a Google Earth map of Elim, Alaska, which is the current checkpoint that the mushers are at based on this log. Elim's 123 miles from Nome, so they're pretty close to the end. So what explicit information can I get from the map? Well, it's a coastal town. It has an airstrip. The actual town itself seems pretty small. It's condensed really close to the shore. Outside of town is flat. The terrain looks flat. There doesn't appear to be any mountains. So what I can infer, or what implicit information I can get from this map, is that this is probably a pretty fast run for mushers. They're close to the end. The terrain is flat. They're not dealing with a lot of mountainous terrain. If it's frozen, as it should be in mid-March in Alaska, many of the mushers may be choosing to take their trail on the frozen surface of the water, which would make it faster and flatter. So that's the implicit information I can get from that map. This slide is an actual photograph of Elim. So the explicit information, what can it tell me? That it is flat, that it is again on the coast. And if I look at the very back of the photograph, it looks like those must be cliffs of some kind. So I could infer that would be very difficult traveling if the mushers have to get up onto the top of those cliffs. I can also infer that they're coming into town, so they must not have to go across that stretch of water. But again, if they're traveling on the frozen water, then maybe it's a faster time. As you're looking at the Iditarod standing logs today, choose one, and then what I want you to do in Google Classroom or an email, whichever is easiest for you, since I'll get them both, is I want you to choose one checkpoint and one of your mushers. Tell me 3 explicit facts about one of your mushers. So for example, what checkpoint he or she was at, how many dogs they have, how fast they were going. So tell me 3 explicit facts about your musher. And then tell me one inference or implicit piece of information you can share. So for example, why you think your musher is traveling the way he or she is, or what might be happening on this part of the trail because of terrain. You decide. So again, choose one of your 3 chosen mushers, look at one of today's logs, and then just tell me 3 facts from the log about a musher and 1 inference. And then we'll take a look at it, and I'll give you some feedback. Have a great day.